Hey y'all, welcome back to Candid Conversations with your girl Shy. I'm Shy, and we have a special co host today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Charnay Ellesse. Pleasure to be here.
So, today we're going to talk about being authentic. But y'all know before we get into that, we got to share some personal stuff. We got to get in tune. So, we're going to go ahead and switch it up a little bit this week. So, instead of talking about something new that we've tried, we gonna talk about. I'm gonna actually use this phrase. Charnay and our other cousin used to do what grinds my gears, if I'm saying it right. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna let you go first since you're a guest.
Okay. You know what? What grinds my gears is small talk. I can't stand it. I feel like it's so unnecessary. Just get to the point so we can talk about what we need to talk about. And it's just like the logistics of it. It's like, do you really want to know all this, or do you really want something else from me? It's like I can't stand it.
Yeah,
It just grinds my gears.
and it gets awkward. Like when you're not even, you're like, mm. So you're not picking up that I'm not even talking, or I'm trying to, just one word responses.
Get to the point so we can get some solutions going. Ugh, I can't
So I
stand
can
it.
definitely vibe with that. Um, what grinds my gears is the whole. I don't know who this is for, but I just feel like you know what, you know who it's for. It's for somebody. So at least say whoever this is for, come get it. Like you don't know, clearly it's for somebody. You
The whole
felt
mistake is
the need to share it, it dropped in your spirit, whatever it may be. We in 2023 still saying we don't know. So until we find out who we saying it for, can we stop saying it? I'm just
we're gonna address to whom this may concern. I'm not for the okey doke.
Running page, the reel came up, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me go check this out. I've been looking for more people to follow, and a lot of their videos was like, I don't know who this is for. I don't know who this is for. By the third video, I said, well, I can't follow you because I need to know. I need to know who it's for. Like, I can't.
Where's the direction? I need some direction.
um, a current event that I want to talk about. It's not necessarily quote unquote in the headlines, but again, it's just by people that companies I'm either associated with or people that I follow. Um, when I first launched and everything, I had partnered with, well, I had did some um, workshops with a well-known organization in Los Angeles. They're everywhere else, but it's really big in LA, and it's for girls. And um, looking at that one, some other ones, that come up, and the thing, one is great. It's great. We got to get our kids young, and help. We all know, those of us that have all the experience, we're like, dang, if I had this opportunity, if somebody was there, if I was able to be connected with certain things, all of that is great. What I'm finding that I do not like, and it's a personal bother, but I am taking it to God in prayer, is that everybody is not meant to like be over a group or create it. Just like everybody ain't meant to pastors, a whole lot of pastors that shouldn't be pastors, but I'm gonna save that for another show. I've been seeing though a lot of women saying that there's a lot of women empowerment events. That's what they're being called, but they're mean girl gatherings. So
Hmm.
when you go into this space, it's like, where's the empowerment? You're belittling people or making people feel like they're not as great as you. So just like seeing, all the different young girl groups, and then uh, the seeing this about like the women. So they're saying like it's giving women empowerment a horrible name. Like when people that have been impacted. Like when I hear that, I don't want to go. So if you have a desire to, which brings me to this, if you have a desire to do something, be clear on how you're supposed to be doing it. Because I can want to do a lot of things. I don't mean I'm supposed to, or it's not. It's maybe not supposed to be on the scale that I want it to be. So if you're a mean girl, a mean woman, and you're calling yourself being in this arena, I'm gonna need you to sit yourself down and deal with your stuff.
Ooh,
So
rewind, say it again.
I'm gonna need you to sit yourself down and deal with your stuff because I had a personal incident. I'm working a table for a women's event. A woman asked a question, and the other person's response was, "Yeah, I don't like women either." Bro, what are you talking about?
Are
We're
we here?
working a table for a women's event, and the next day they tried to an apology with no accountability is not an apology to me. And so they tried to apologize to me the next day, and I redirected them. I said, "No, you need to apologize to those women. You need to apologize to the persons who like you're tainting."
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying, like, we all have great ideas. There's random stuff I can do. Y'all will probably be surprised, but that doesn't mean that's my niche. That doesn't mean that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And when we're not supposed to be doing stuff, in most cases, we cause harm instead of being a help and damage, because then we end up bleeding on people or not being able to show up and deliver the way that we should. So that's like social media current event that I've been seeing. So either you can add to that, or if you have your own, definitely go ahead and share with the people.
That's so funny because it's a lot of them that I see, and it reminds me of like the feminist movement too. Where I know when I thought about the feminist movement, I was just like, I don't really want to bash, you know, other people as well. This is not kind of what I sit with, so I don't want to call myself a feminist in that light. And then when I like actually read and looked up the definition of what feminism was, I was like, this ain't y'all doing it a little bit of a different way. So same way as the women empowerment circles, where you go and you got to dress a particular way, and you got to talk a particular way. Um, I was so confused because I'm wondering, like, is this empowering or just going to another social etiquette? Where we at? Like, how are we doing this? Am I showing up as me, my authentic self within this community, or are you trying to tell me how to be you? And I pay for you to show me how to be you. If that's the case, like, I don't want to be there with it.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Definitely. So if that's you, get it together. If you've been impacted by that, give the legit ones a chance. Because it's some of us out here
It's a good
really
one.
doing it from a genuine place for the purpose of bringing women together. So holla at us. So now our topic today is being authentic. When I think of being authentic, like for myself personally, it's me being who I feel I am, no matter where I'm at. I'm not becoming a transformer, when I'm around this group of people or I'm in this environment. It's me being who I am, as well as being fine with that, even my flaws, even the things that I'm working on. So that's how I view it. Me being comfortable with myself, like internally, outwardly. And I show up no matter where I'm at, you gonna get the same person. So what does being authentic to you mean?
Yeah, mine is on the same line as yours, where it's like I want to feel comfortable walking into any room as myself, whether I am at a business meeting or with my friends or just with random people. I want to feel comfortable saying, "Hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This
Right.
is how I talk." Whether you think is quote unquote white or anything in the valley, I like champagne. So when I go out somewhere, I'm gonna order a lemon drop or a champagne. I'm not about to order a cocktail. So that's just who I am. I don't want to feel different about the things that I like and how I like to live or anything. And that I want to show up as the same person you met 2 days ago, in sweats, same personality, same attitude, same quietness at the first. Like you get to know me and understand me, and I'm not, what do you call that? I'm not apologizing for my presence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna segue into this from that. Uh, I'm not apologizing for my presence. When people, have you had someone tell you, "Oh, you intimidate me"? Um,
Absolutely.
and it's like, okay, that's an internal thing, boo. I don't know you like that. I haven't had no interactions with you like that. All I did was show up. So instead of you being intimidated by it, how about you glean from it? Like, oh, I like how she, she shows up in the room. Like, let me go talk to her. Let me figure out something. I remember we were doing this exercise. It was a mindfulness exercise at work. And I got this lady, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to woosah because, you know, and then, I just channeled into the exercise because that's what I do. And she is like nervously, like smiling and giggling, her whole body demeanor. And in my head, I'm like, okay, Jesus, go ahead and help because, like, it's just a quick, we just doing a quick little exercise. And then she finally says, "You intimidate me." And I look at her and I said, "Mom, I ain't do nothing to you. I just showed up. So I don't know why you're intimidated." I just kept it short. But it's like anytime someone, like, their presence, like, there's people, like, you get captivated by their presence. Like, you can see someone's confidence or how they're showing it and those different things. It never made me feel small. It never made me feel like, oh, I got to examine myself because I'm not showing up like that. If anything, it was like, okay, I see that. Like, let me grab something from that. With you having that same experience, how did you, or how do you handle those?
At first, I used to shy away from it and try to pick out like a flaw on me so you can connect in that way. And I can't do that no more. Like that's not who I am authentically. So if I understand that I'm a mirror, you're looking at me and you're seeing all your insecurities from you. So sometimes I get women that are not healed and they want to tear me down in a sense, and I just smile. I kill it with kindness. Hey, how are you? What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing? Let me support you. I want to, pretty much, I'm gonna be your mom for a minute. I'm gonna show you how to treat other people that you connect with, whether you are jealous of them or not. I feel like jealousy is just a mindfulness of where, okay, I want something like that. I want to be something like that. I mean, what are you doing? Like, I want to support you. How can I support you? Kind of keep inching at people where it's like I'm here. I'm not about to change who I am for you, but I want to acknowledge that we are not competing against each other. I'm going to calmly tell you, oh, okay, that's nice. Even when you're throwing little daggers, everyone have that, like, oh, that's cute what you got on. That's that little outfit cute. That little microaggression. You're like, oh, thank you. Yeah, this is one of my favorite outfits. Like I gotta kind of get a little bit of in that feminine alpha energy, and that scares me too. Where I'm like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm not changing for myself. Like, yes, I have a great outfit on. It took me time to pick this out, and this is who I am. I worked hard to pay for this, or whatever this case may be. Thank you. Thank you
Right.
for everything that you complimented me on. And not get scared or like, oh no, oh, it was just $2. It was just, you start downplaying stuff. I don't do that anymore. I don't downplay myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Stop dimming the light. Stop dimming light for people that's living in darkness. Like, why? I'm gonna dim my light to join you?
Hello.
No, I'm gonna let it shine bright, and you can come here. Like,
If you need to put some shades
um,
on, put it on. I'm gonna tell you your shades are cute.
that part. So here, looking up the definition of being authentic online, it says Put simply, authenticity means you're true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you're under to act otherwise. You're honest with yourself and with others, and you take responsibility for your mistakes. Your values,
Ooh.
ideas, and actions align. I actually like that because it's not just like a dictionary um, definition. But that speaks to what I said, like no matter where I'm at, like you're gonna get the same person. Like you're not gonna have a group of people saying, well, at church she acts like this, and then in the workplace she acts like this, and at home she shows up like this. It's like, first of all, that takes too much energy. Y'all all about to get the same personality. Y'all all about to get like it's comfortable being fine with who you are. And even when we say flaws and all, everybody is flawed. Like,
Yeah.
and that's it's beauty in flaws. So it's like even up to your interpretation. Like the whole uh season where I'm flawless, I'm flawless, I'm flawless. Well, yeah, you can be flawless with flaws, like
Mhm.
perfectly imperfect. It's all about how you see yourself and how you want to embody, the movement that you're on.
Yes.
And being okay, because I can't stand no transformer. If I feel like if I do something and you do something that's similar, it's like, oh, okay, well that's. But then if some keep, wait a minute, there's no coincidence that I keep doing this or starting that or saying that, and then you come along and you're doing this, you don't have to like do what other people are doing. And
Mhm.
the beauty in that, uh, you don't want to, because if you are not called to do something, that that means you don't have what it takes to do it. So then when you try to do it, you didn't jack yourself up because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Focus on being authentic also helps you discover who you are, what you really like, what am I purpose to do? What do I like to do in the meantime? Um, how do um I don't know, do the thing right, like how I want to do it.
Yeah.
What would you say about that definition and how it relates to your definition of being authentic?
That was the perfect definition of authentic because it hits on all seven facets too, like spiritual, like motherhood. I feel like I have two kids. I have a boy and a girl. I mother them differently, but I'm the same person in a sense of them. So it's like I'm still mom. You still know when my eyebrows go this way, when I get
Mhm.
excited. Like you get to know my personal expressions and how I express them.
Yeah.
Like I have an attitude problem. I am aware of this. So when I speak to people, I'm like, all right, let me make sure I understand that I have one. Let me reel it back in, Charnay. Reel it back in with
Yeah.
them. So like being authentic, knowing your flaws and knowing like, all right, my social battery gonna die in 30 minutes and I ain't gonna talk to nobody. Let me say hi and introduce myself before I go sit down and zone out for the rest of the evening and
Yeah.
go find and there with it. So being authentic is I think understanding your flaws and how to use it to your advantage instead of like, oh, this is just how I am. You're
Mhm.
just gonna love it or take it. That's true too. But at the same time, you gotta be accountable. That's why I liked in that definition, accountable of how you show up and not transform so then you're hiding your flaws. Instead of that, come with it, understand them and use them.
Yeah. And just so you know, you are not you, you cannot be authentic or learn to live an authentic life if you don't want to deal with your stuff, if you don't want to be accountable, if you don't want to be responsible, if you feel like you can just separate you from your past. Like all of that is a part of you. We all have experiences, and i don't e- I actually want to say, I don't even want to say unfortunately, because those experience, when you do the work, they make you into the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
but some of us had it worse than others in certain, areas and facets, and that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to disassociate. There's people that create whole new lives,
Mm-hmm.
go move to a different town or state and create, this life to escape, where they came from instead of embracing. You came from a rough upbringing. Your parents wasn't there. I don't know. You probably grew up in foster care, like whatever it may be, but just embracing that because there's more power in that's where I came from. And I had to do work to figure it out. I'm halfway there, or I'm on the journey, and this is how I'm showing up right now. So, it's easier for I don't want to say it's easier for people to digest that because people will get mad when you grow, when you
Mm-hmm.
heal, when you change for the better, when you gain clarity, all of that. But it's easier for you, us being the person, to not take on any additional weight that ain't yours to begin with.
Yes.
I just shared with you, this is who I am, this is where I'm at in this place. Embrace it or not. But you can't be authentic if you live in a lie. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
it's to be yourself.
Yeah, that's so funny that you talking about this particular thing. It's because Charnay Elise is that's what I did. I disassociated the two. Like for a long time, I just went by Elise. Elise was the social appropriate one that had like all the you look good all the time. You didn't see anything, and then I kind of pushed Charnay because Charnay seemed like the ghetto one. That
Mhm.
that's associated with my dad and all that. And it wasn't until I started being authentic with myself where those two are the same person. I had to
Mhm.
honor that. I had to honor both my upbringing and also the woman that I wanted to be, and then merge them together to be exactly who I want to be. And so I make sure I say Charnay at least kind of remind myself, hey, we are both the same person
Mhm.
and we are going to live our most authentic life with it.
Yes. So, and that I have to this day. I hope one day I don't. I have to explain like why people calling you Monique? Why people calling you shy? Why people it's the same person. It just it's the same person. Growing up, uh family didn't call me um my government name. One, I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Okay.
Really? I
I
didn't
did not
know.
I did not really know how to pronounce my name. That's one. And that's Monique was all that I remembered from a little girl. I never remember as other than one of my uncles, he would call me Shiree. But other than that, nobody. So I remember we were in LA. I don't know if we were leaving LA to come to the IE or vice versa or whatever, just going somewhere. And I remember being in the back seat, and one of my sisters had me write like my name.
Mhm.
And then that's when I like, of course, I had been in school, but we're talking first, second grade, you know what I mean? And more so kindergarten, first grade. But I'm writing it, and then I'm like, okay, Sharia, Shiree. So I'm like, if I don't know how to pronounce it or feel comfortable, how do I introduce myself? So then I
Yeah.
would just go with, Monique. At school, of course, in school and stuff like that, you would hear my name. And one of my exes, I say one of the worst ex, but he was like, I don't want to call you what everybody called you. And he started calling me shy. So then when we broke up, I'm one of them chicks, you take back everything. I'm throwing everything away. Take the name that you get. Like I'm looking up but people had already started calling me that.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna embrace that. I just need to take the part that's tainted off of it. Because I
Mhm.
literally, I mean, it's my full name is Shiria, that I go by Shy. I was literally just willing to just throw my whole name away because it had been tainted. So
Just throw
embrace
him
it.
away.
Like, you're not getting a different person, same person. Like
Mhm.
just we just trying to merge the names. But so in a way, I get that. But you kind of talked about it when you brought up um being authentic as a mother.
Mhm.
um Balance goes along, it kind of walks, side by side with being authentic, because you, and when we say balance, this is the thing I wish people would have taught.
Mhm.
Let's go by hours. Okay, you say you got 24 hours in a day, but you're not up all 24. But let's do that 24 hours. It does not mean giving, trying to give 2 hours, like equally splitting that,
Mhm.
because not everything requires the same time as something else. And then stuff changes. So being able to have balance, and that's what you really have to sit down and see what that looks like. Like, these are the things that I'm committed to. Let me really look at the time that I'm spending on these. And in some areas you'll realize I need to decrease some time there and increase it here. But being authentic and true comes with, like we said, accountability and being responsible. So I can't be all over the place and showing up halfway, and then trying to excuse it by saying, well, you already know this, you already know I'm gonna be late, or this is just me, so be okay with that. How does balance fit for you in this realm?
Ooh, okay, yeah. In that round, so we wear a whole bunch of hats. Mom, boss, owner, lover, um, just all these, and it's like, okay, what's most important to me? They all are equal value in a sense, but if I'm working all the time, if I'm not spending time with my family, then my family life is going to suffer, and then now I have to attend to that much more than I would have if I would have just let me carve out. Hey, don't call me after 6 p.m. That's my family time. If you need to call me, then that's just that it's a dire need. Setting those boundaries. So to be authentic, I know reason why I have this boundary is because I know what happens when I don't put things before other things, in the sense of, okay, well, let me work 5 hours more so I can get this done. If it's worth it, then I'll do it, which helps me 10 hours in another area of my life. But that's sacrifice. Am I willing to sacrifice this for a long-term goal? Is it going to be beneficial, or it's going to cost me? So understanding how to sit with yourself and really be like, what means the most to me and what is my authentic self, and being upfront with it. Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to that event. Why not? Well, my daughter has a gymnastics play, and I can't miss that for your appearance. That means more to me, and I'm willing to lose out on X, Y, and Z for it.
Mhm.
Or if I decide to go to this event and miss her performance, I got to sit down and have a conversation with my daughter and say, hey, baby, I am so sorry, but I have X, Y, and Z person going there for you, taking that responsibility in that avenue as well. And understand, even if I'm not physically there for something, I can still have accountability there. Hey,
Yeah.
this is what I did, and this is how I can show up in this facet. Hey, I'm not going to be able to go to that event, but I will repost your things. I will buy a ticket
Mhm.
for you, and being authentic. Hey, I'm not being authentic in that form, in that facet.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you actually look at it, that would be part of, this is part of learning who you are, being authentic about that. Because, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we're pulled in every direction. We're trying to show up, we're trying to do. But when you literally say, you know what, I'm not happy with my life. Let me examine what
Mm-hmm.
that means, where I need to change. And then you begin to see, like, okay, I'm wasting a lot of time here, which is, I've identified here, this is what's causing, like, there's some other stuff, but this is the huge thing that's really causing my
Yeah.
unhappiness. And now that I've identified it, what do I do about it? And
Mm-hmm.
then when you put yourself in that position, you're empowering yourself.
Yes.
You're being accountable, you're being responsible, you're empowering yourself. And so whatever comes of that, because you may want to, you like, I used to be happy, I used to be bubbly, I want to get back to that. Okay, well, how well is your work life balance? Like, what's going on there? What happened? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's necessary for us to look at things, even if it's something we revisit every day, because we do not necessarily look at it through the lens that we should.
Mm-hmm. It
And
builds
what I mean by
confidence
that,
too.
Yeah.
It builds confidence. Like, yeah, no, I know why I'm saying no, or I know why I'm saying yes.
Yes.
With that, it's not, tied to any guilt or any shame or anything. It's honestly because no, no. It's a no, a solid no. Or yeah, I can do that. I don't want to be saying yes, I do it, and then I don't show up for you because just
Right.
that's who I am. With it. So being authentic is saying I'm gonna be late. So do you want me to come at 6? Or do you not want me to come at all? Let me know. That accountability too. Or
Yeah.
if you know you're a late person, tell that person, if you know them, hey, tell me at 4 o'clock. Whatever time you said, put 2 hours on it.
Yes. Right.
I'll be there. I'll be there on time if you tell me the wrong time.
That part. So it um generation, we're two
Yeah.
different generations, and we're talking about being authentic, which is of course associated with other things.
Mhm.
Um, I come from a generation where, you know what? I'm not a millennial. I don't, you know what?
You're a Y, generation Y.
I'm about to find out.
What my lifespan book?
Because I'm like right on the cusp though.
Mm-hmm. Are you Y?
I'm Gen X.
Oh, okay, Gen X.
So, um, being myself got me in a lot of trouble. Being myself made me feel like what they used to call it, the
And a black sheep.
black sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Being myself was not for my era. Kids were to be seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
If you did express how you felt, that was looked at as being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say in that, some things I didn't realize until I got older, but I'm glad that it did not make me completely stop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some may have said, "Oh, she's pushing the lines." It's like, no, I'm really just trying to be myself. Like, I'm not trying to start a trend. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to just. I'm just really trying to be myself. And this
Yes.
box that y'all have made that existed before I existed, it doesn't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I pushed. If you're handling me wrong, I'm gonna say something about it. You wasn't honoring your word, I'm gonna call you out on it. But in another way, it actually helped me from not trying like my full potential,
Mm-hmm.
because there was another part of me like I don't want to deal with the backlash. I don't want to deal with the attitudes. I don't want to. So I would say more so in school, um, coaches discovered this girl is good. And I'm like, nah, I'm not. We already got one athletic person in the family. If I do it, like, then it's gonna be like, oh, she's trying to copy. And it's like, no, like, you can have more than one talented kid, but that's not how it was seen. So a lot of things I learned that I did by me doing that, it taught me in a way to dumb some stuff down. Although I was still bold in things in certain areas, um, I did learn that it taught me to dim my light in other areas. And that actually came out in counseling, actually couples counseling. And I had to think back. The therapist was like, "Who told you to like dim your light?" And I'm like, "What you talking about, sir? Like, I'm bright." And then I sat there and I had to go all the way back to that time and junior high and high school. I was like, no one literally said it to me, but when I watched what would happen and I processed it myself, it was like, no. So then internally, although at that time I was doing mentoring, things like that, I had started, doing the mentoring in ministry. I would get other people to do it. I had never looked at my own event. I never did that because I didn't want, who does she think she is? So although in one aspect I was this like bold person, in this other aspect that I had to, and that was just a few years ago, that I had to realize like, no, you were really dimming your light and didn't know it.
Yeah.
So now I'm out there. Say what you want to say, but what you ain't gonna say. But yeah, so that uh, for my generation, that was my journey, like trying learning how to be myself.
Yeah.
So what generation are you?
I think I'm generation either millennium or Y, but I'm in between because I'm 92.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'm in a crest, but I grew up in this where technology was shifting. So me growing up, like as a kid, we went outside, we played, I had that experience of connecting with other kids and not just on a social media. Social media didn't really come about until I was in 8th grade. And that's when like, we already had the women and the like the women comparing each other. And growing up in my family, we have a plethora of women that are strong-minded and they speak their mind. And what they always did was they never hid their sexuality. For me, they would talk, whether who was around, they talked about whatever they wanted to talk about. And on the other end of it, somehow God always blessed me with older people around me. Like my first job was at 3rd grade. One of the older ladies on my block, she said, "Can you walk my kid to school and I'll pay you $10 a week." $10 a week at 3. I mean, at 3rd grade, I'm going to the ice cream truck.
Baller.
Like, I'm falling. But those older generations that are now the baby boomers helped shape me in a way. I guess God wanted me to keep an old soul around me because I've always had older women that are older people, not just women, that guided me and showed me responsibility and how to care for people and empathetic. So when social media did come out, I had a different opinion about, oh, okay, well, I can express myself in a photo, but I should do it this way, be more classy, but still, be express myself as well. Because my family, they expressed themselves and they said how they wanted to, but the older people told me to keep it classy a little bit. So it's all like this back and forth. So now in social media, it's booming. We have these goals, we have this, and the older generation always asks me, well, what do you want to do? But make sure whatever you're doing is happy, baby. Let me listen to you. Let me figure out. So I've always had like, okay, well, that's a goal, but it's not my goal. Yeah. And having to kind of stand my ground and say, yeah, I think maybe a little old fashioned, but it's progressive at the same time, where it's like, okay, like, I understand you are on the Instagram, you posting up what you're doing, but I want to see the work behind it. What it took for you to be this? Is this a facade? And so I want to see the real person. I want to see what you're working hard for. I want to celebrate that. I don't want the instant gratification, and that's what this is now. You post something, people don't talk about how many it took 30 shots for me to get this one shot. Or it took me 5 years to build up this following, and that this is how the confidence is in me. So we learn how to hide the progress, and I feel like we should enlighten the progress and show the progress, and not hide it. And I think we're moving towards that, where it's like, no, I've been doing this for 7 years. You just now seeing it up here. But it was down here at first. Keep going. Don't just try to buy followers, or everyone wants to buy things instead of actually working hard and then using the value in it, and so people can see it and purchase it too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of layers in my generation, and I'm just not for the okie doke. I wanna work hard. I wanna get that internal moral value to it. Like, yeah, this is me. I worked for it. I didn't sell out for it, and I can stand on it instead of like playing small.
Yes. And even with all that, I just said to myself the other day, you know what? Um, I'm gonna just focus on God's algorithm because
Baby.
because he know what I'm out here doing in these streets, these social media streets too, and I ain't got time. And two, these platforms did not give me what I have. So therefore,
The
whenever it's
human
supposed
connection.
to however it's supposed to pop is gonna pop. Whoever's supposed to see it, they gonna see it. Because we end up enslaving ourselves to that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember, okay, the algorithm says it's best if I post at this time. And uh, you know what?
I'm busy at that time. I might schedule something maybe. I can't keep up with and I want to do the footwork too. I want to get out. I want to actually be next to some people. I don't want to just be online and talking to people. I would
Yeah.
even do the small talk for a minute.
I, right, small talk. So, these are all the things that go into us, like the discovery part and who we are and how we are. I remember the first time I seen, Tabitha Brown popped up on my timeline.
Mhm.
She was already like a thing, but I didn't know about her. And I'm saying within like the last maybe 2 years or so. But before I realized, oh, I was like, oh, she makes recipes. Like I didn't know who she was. The thing that drew me to her was how she dressed.
Mhm.
Because I've never quote unquote had a style the way that the world says you have to have a style. But I felt very comfortable wearing tennis shoes and flowy skirts and some things that may not match, but they match to me. Like, and so when I seen her, I was like, oh my gosh, who is this woman? I was like, she got all the colors and all the things, and it's cute. Like, that's what drew me to her. Because it was something like, me, I'm just like, I gotta be true to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I get, a certain, certain things you do and all that, but I was like, I gotta be true to myself.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter called herself roasting me. They're wondering what roasting is. And she was like, you don't even have no Jordans. I was like, girl, I don't even like wearing tennis shoes. Like, and if you go in my closet right now, I have Vans, Pumas, but you would rarely see my foot in a tennis shoe. I'm like, that's just not me. And when I do that style, like I had to like get comfortable with that because that's the thing too. Like, oh, you should wear
Mm-hmm.
this. If you do this and you do that, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't. I remember I did a video and I had this halter top is a long dress, but the top is made like a halter. And then I also wanted to wear a t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
like neck t-shirt. And I put them on and I felt so good and comfortable in what I had on. And I remember doing a video and I talked about what I had on and how, because how what we wear, it defines us too. It makes us feel good, or, if you got to put on something you don't, it ain't as comfortable and all of that. So when going back to the topic, when I seen her, I was like, that's a visualization of me. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel. I don't care about whatever we're supposed to wear and how we're supposed to wear it. I'm like, that is me. Like,
Yeah.
give me the Converse with the skirt. Like, give me.
It's
Back in the
me.
day, you see me in nothing less than a 6-inch heel. Now I cannot stand heels. You know, but even that, me being like, you know what? That's who you are. That's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what you like. That's your style. Go ahead and work with it now. You have
Yeah.
embraced that. You realize that. Like be comfortable in that, and don't allow people to change that.
Mm. Yes. Show up as your most authentic self. If it's heels you want to wear, if it's shoes you want to wear, you do it. Like, because people gonna talk regardless, whether negative or positive, they gonna talk. That's cool. When I woke up this morning, I got
Hmm.
to choose how I wanted to show up in each space.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Whether you like it or not, I get to go to sleep at night. Happy as can be. I get to step out in
Yeah.
the morning, happy as can be. Why you
Definitely.
worried about me? Instead of just enjoying my presence and enjoying your presence. And we both here.
Right. Definitely. So that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Cause I know some people like that because that also becomes like identity for a lot of people.
Yes.
Like this girl, she spends like almost $3,000 on her beauty regimen, and
Mhm.
that's injections, hair, and I'm like, first of all, that ain't my portion, cause I don't want to do all that.
No.
I'd rather use my time doing
About
other
energy.
stuff.
I can be in a
But
bubble
at the
bath
same
somewhere.
and at the same time, like you could be perfectly fine inward, but like, are you? Because that's a lot of work.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying like don't take pride in yourself. Like take pride in yourself. If your thing is hair, makeup, the whole nine, but if you're using that to cover up, if you're using that as a facade, then that's where the problem is.
Yes.
If that is your authentic self, like no, I just love makeup. I love the way because everybody has their thing, but
Hmm.
not when we use things to cover up or keep people at a distance so they don't discover who we
Uh,
really are and what we have going on. Because it's
Indeed.
used both ways to keep us protected and to keep people away from us.
Mhm.
So,
I agree too, because sometimes when I go out and I don't want to be bothered, I'll beat my face so people be intimidated, so I won't have to talk to nobody. Swear to God, I'll be like, let me look really nice so people won't come up to me because they're gonna be intimidated, and they're gonna walk to me, and then I miss out on a whole experience with somebody just because I didn't want people to come up to me and ask me about who I am or what I do because I didn't want to talk about it
uh-huh,
originally. Now, when I get dressed up, it's just because I like to be cute. And I
right.
like to like just show up as myself, and I'll talk and I'll say hello and all that. But initially, I'm putting on makeup so you won't talk to me because you can feel like you're on a different level and you're not gonna approach me. And I'm gonna just stand there looking pretty. So just in case somebody take a picture, I'm still pretty.
Yes. So, wherever you are at, like the point is just embrace where you are.
Yeah.
Especially even when like you're facing adversity and stuff like that, you're already like in a space that's going to require a lot from you. Why add on the rest?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and um I was sharing with you that, you know, at my brother's school, that I feel like the the token parent. And I made myself feel that way. Like I put myself in that position because I know, just being honest, in the Black community, I know like people interact with us differently and we face different things. And I've seen it working in school where kids just get like, well, whatever, everybody else got it, and that's okay. So it was important for us for them to know who we were, that she had comes from a great home, like not like killing all the statistical stuff. And but I found myself going to event after event and I was getting bothered. And I'm like, okay, why am I bothered? Like I feel like I just want to grab the mic and say some stuff like, and I had to like think about like what that is and where it comes from. And in my parenting in that aspect, I was not being authentic
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't doing it from a place of I just really want them to know I'm doing that
Mm-hmm.
because of personal experiences, societal, reasons and racism and all of the things. So that's what was pushing me. So when the wrong thing is pushing you, like it ain't gonna last long. It
You're
ain't
gonna feel
gonna last.
tired. You're gonna feel tired and
Right.
drained.
So it's like I need to give this roll up.
Uh,
They know who we are. They know what kind of family she comes from. Let
yeah.
whoever think what they want to think, but I know mine is good.
Yeah.
So even from that place, I had to
Puppies, puppies, babies,
just
puppies.
and do it from an authentic place.
Mm.
So it's so many things that when we say look at what you're dealing with or faced with, what's on your plate, it's so many things that could be impacting how you feel and how you're showing up.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just realized that.
I was gonna say you would never realize it if you didn't experience it and then be truthful about yourself. Now you're authentic with it. So it's
Yeah.
like you had to experience it. Like okay, okay. Um, this is why I initially did it. Did I
Right.
like it? Am I enjoying it? Is it something that fulfills me? Okay, am I doing it for the socialness of it, the shallowness of it, or do I genuinely want to come to these meetings every what is that Tuesday
Right.
and do it? What actually am I real about what I want to do? And then go from there. But before that happens, before you make that conscious decision, you have to enjoy. I mean, figure it out, and you can't figure it out by just sitting there thinking about it. You would never have this opinion about it, and then hey, this is what I want to do afterwards.
Right. Right. I
Right.
won't be doing it again. But
Shout out to whoever like doing it.
man, but even in that, like, so you can break it down. If your struggle right now may be in the parenting area,
Yeah.
um, if it's, within work, if it's within your relationship, like,
Yeah.
this is where you sit down and say, okay, this is what I know to be true.
Uh
Now, why
huh.
is it true?
Ooh, that's a word.
Because it helps us, you know, and we're ever evolving. And if you're not evolving, then you got to figure out why. But we're ever evolving. So there should always be a time that we take time to check in with ourselves, a time where we, um, you know, check progress, that I made this commitment, to myself. These are my goals. How well, let me check back in. Am I on the right path to meeting these goals? Did I get off track? We need to do that on a regular.
Yeah.
And if you're not evolving, if you're not growing, I suggest
Accountability.
today.
Accountability, measuring. It's okay to measure your success or your failure. And
Yeah.
then you decide, hey, I'm not okay with this. I want to change this, or oh, I'm okay with this particular avenue. But you have to show up and be accountable for yourself. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, this thing I hate my life and everything's going wrong. Well, baby, the only person that can make it go right is you.
Yes.
It's you. Of course, bring in support, bring in help,
Mhm.
bring in all the resources that you need, but none of them can come until you are at a place where you're done with how you are living, or how you are in a relation, how you show up for a relationship, how you
Yes.
show up for yourself in the workplace, how you show up for yourself in motherhood. It all stems from what you desire and what you see fit for your life, and then you start walking in that,
Yes.
and what was it, being authentic with yourself about all of these avenues.
Like back in the day, we used to say, um, being real or you 100. Like, it's a whole bunch of fake people and I'm real. Well, let's really get real. Let's
Reel it back
real
in.
requires you to do the work. Real being real requires you to feel. Being real requires you to have accountability. It may even cause you to apologize to some people. Like
Yes.
it's a whole process, but at the end of the day, um, you know, I just want to live a fulfilled life.
Yes.
And at the older I get, I learn to take off even some of my, you know, it was good to have goals, but like if I didn't make the goal, like did
It's
I
okay.
being honest, did I do everything I was supposed to do? Or was it something, did I even see if that's something I was supposed to even make a goal?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And so I shared it at Ladies Let's Talk. I have my 2 week, like, oh, this year I'm going to be. And then I quickly switched it. I'm like, but look at everything I accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. And then right after I was having my moments, a
Yeah.
reel comes up, and it's for like women that are older than me, but that was saying like, don't give up on life just because you're 60 and 65 and 70. Like, as long as you're here, there's still something for you to do and to
Hmm.
find value in that. And
Yes.
so being okay with discovering who I am and what I like and what I don't like. And those of us that are parents, we got to keep in mind we're teaching
Hello.
24/7.
Uh-huh.
Even when we ain't saying nothing, they watch everything and they hear everything. So I'm using that to help me heal. I'm using that to help me grow because there's a greater good. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's a bigger reason. Like, I want my daughter to experience life in a different way. I
Yes.
have to acknowledge and, hey, let me give myself credit. Already you were born into something more healthier than I came from. You know what I
Uh,
mean? And um so just being honest with ourselves, and it helps us position ourselves for the life that we want. It gives us power to say, this is who I want to be. This is the life that I want. And I have the potential to make it happen.
yes. I was gonna say I have a saying that I live by that keeps me my authentic self. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna ask you what's your authentic. I'm gonna say affirmation for yourself. Mine is I never request anything from anyone I have not requested for myself yet. So meaning if I want somebody to make me a cheesecake, I at least have to attempt to try to make it myself before I say, you know what,
Mhm.
can you make me a cheesecake? Or hey, I'm just letting you know I'm bad at making cheesecakes. I need you, or let's go buy it. Is
Mhm.
it so? It's like mine is I never request anything from anyone that I have not requested for myself first. So what's yours?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Um, Let me see, because I'm wondering now, is it probably something that I internally say and not verbally?
Ooh, I see the juices flowing.
Yeah.
Mhm. So at first,
Let me
mine
say,
was I'm not
okay.
I'm perfect. I'm not a perfect human. And I had to switch it because I'm like I keep saying I'm not a perfect human, which it keeps making me dim my light about something, and I was
Yeah.
using it for some coping instead of like no, I work hard. Let me switch it to I never request anything from anyone. So
Yeah. I would say, and probably afterwards, I'll put it in an affirmation form. Um,
like at the tip of the tongue too. It's like
I'm okay. I'm okay with. I'm gonna just say how it's flowing. I'm
uh
okay with the tragedies of my life
huh.
because it creates beauty.
Ooh.
Like, I'm okay with all the negative, the bad stuff, even stuff that I played a role in,
Mm-hmm.
because when you do the work and you see
Yes.
what comes from it, it like gives me the drive to just go another day. If I didn't
Mm-hmm.
show up my best self today, let me acknowledge why I did it,
Yeah.
but then I learned something from it,
Mm-hmm.
and then let me try again tomorrow. So that's in my head. That's like what I live by. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I go by. Like, I'm having the the mom battle. You know, my kid wants to be older than what she is,
Mm-hmm.
but then I had to acknowledge that at 8, 9, that's when I stopped being mothered.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to. I had to sit for a second and say, don't don't create this out of fear of what you're
Mm.
doing.
Ooh.
Um, if it's broken, let it be broken, but you're doing the work to fix it. You
Yes.
have the conversations, you leave the space open. And so with that being said, so I never, that's good. I am going to create an affirmation from it, but that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like acknowledging the bad, but it's so good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and like I tell people that because it is like
Beautiful.
what you see is it's not nothing good. Like my experiences that made me, they were not, oh yes, great, we accomplished. No,
Digging
but
deep.
yeah, but like the beauty that comes from it when you're not scared to do the work, when you're not scared to say I messed up, I was wrong, when you're not scared to say, well, how can I fix this? When you're okay, when you're confident and comfortable
Come
with
through.
this was a team effort and I was on the team. I dropped the ball, I whatever, because I would rather embrace and feel all of that and want to heal that and grow from that than be like some of these women that I see that are numb. That are numb, they can't deal with feelings, they hide their feelings, you can't have a deep conversation with them. And I'm like, that is so sad. I don't want to look back and now I'm 60 years old and nobody knows my story. I'm 60 years old and I still don't have a voice. I'm 60 years old and I'm too ashamed to say that whatever, I was in an abusive relationship or I was raped, I was molested. Like, I don't want to be that woman. And I see that so for myself, I embrace every negative thing, every experience that maybe did not work out for me, because in the end, it does work.
It does.
And I just try again. It's okay to just try again
Mm-hmm.
while being accountable. You don't just try again and act like it didn't happen. No, you may have to go back and apologize to some people or whatever. But that's how I don't have to create an affirmation for that, but that's how I do every day.
Uh-huh.
Even if I don't accomplish every goal that I wrote down, but I did this, I did that. Tomorrow, I just need to prioritize better. Um,
Yes.
and so that is how I think and how I
Yeah.
get through the day.
Oh, that's good. That reminds me, like when I'm parenting, every year on their birthday, I kind of sit with myself and self reflect. All right, what did I do good as a mom, and what can I do better? And I throw out all the things that like I did that wasn't good, and I kind of just like, all right, then that was last year. I know what I did good that worked this year, and now I can move forward. I can still keep those pieces that worked, and then now every year I'm a new parent. Every year I've never been a parent to a 5-year-old girl. Well, she probably think her woman. I've never been a mom to an 11-year-old son. I'm always in the light of learning and growing, also being a teacher too. Because what I do know, I can give it to you. But if I know it ain't good, I'm gonna throw it out and I'm gonna find those answers. And then when I come back with them, I'm gonna give it to you. Right. So
Yeah.
always like keeping the positive and throwing out what don't serve you. Really, because why you gonna hold on to it? It's gonna get heavy. Put it
Right.
down.
Right.
Yeah, this
And
was
I'm
a
gonna
good
plug right
conversation.
there for parents. If you are watching this, go back to the drawing board,
Yes.
because oftentimes we just parent. Like we see it being done, we just parent. We are supposed to learn so much from our kids.
Yes.
And even in that learning, it's healing some of the traumas and the things that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We have to learn to look at them as human. We
Yes.
have to learn to apologize. We have to
Yes.
learn to be accountable to them. We have to
Yes.
learn to listen to them. Because then
Yes.
we do all of that, the opposite of that, but send them out into a world and say, people need to listen to you. People need to respect you. People need to understand your boundaries, but we don't give our kids that. And I also want us to forgive ourselves for just not knowing, for
Mm-hmm.
not knowing. Even for some that may say it's too late, they're adults, and it's never too late because you can always recreate, you can always create something new. But
Mm-hmm.
what it requires, you can, I can be online every single day teaching and talking. You
Mm-hmm.
know what's going to get the most insight? When I start sharing my own personal experiences, because this is great. But how do you know that? How did you come up with that conclusion? And for parents, that's an area that we have to learn to be accountable for, which helps us learn to be our authentic selves. Like, how do I want to parent? You
Yes.
know, and um, for those that have the adult children, you got to go to them and ask for forgiveness. You got to go to them and apologize and have a real conversation because now y'all both are adults.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's
Respect.
an opportunity for us to connect to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I just, you know, so mothers to your daughters, fathers to your sons.
Yeah.
And those of us that had to parent when we didn't even have a kid, whatever your story may be, um, it's even accountability in that to help you. Like, how do I want to show up? Like, I'm fine. My daughter could be like, "Hey, girl." I'll be like, "Hey, girl." Like back in the day, you would have got popped in the mouth saying that, but I'm
Yes.
okay with that. You know what I mean? I want to be friendly. I want you to know I'm your friend, but not. I'm a different friend. But that's how I choose to do it. I want to hear you
Respect.
express yourself. It don't mean it's always going to be right, but I want you to always have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just an extra plug right there because I felt that. So I just wanted to share
Yes.
that. But it all does tie into us figuring out like who we are, how we want to be, and that sitting well with us. At the end of the night, I want to be able to sleep
Mm-hmm.
knowing that
Sound.
I am 100% fine with who I am with, you know, while I'm in training, while
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the process of learning all the other things or, you know, of
Yeah.
um, getting to that. So please share with us your thoughts and experiences around being authentic. Comment on some of the things that we've even shared. Let us know when you watch this video. I do want to give space for Ms. Charnay Ellesse to share anything that she has coming up. And I'll go ahead and also plug her one way you can get in contact with her on social media. But go ahead.
Hey, yeah. So I'm heavily on Instagram as the art of a Pisces. I am all about sound and movement through healing. I have a couple of events coming up. I'm located in Las Vegas. So I have two sound baths. You guys not familiar with what sound baths are? They are crystal bowls that you play. It's all about relaxing and coming to a sound mind so that you're able to make the best decisions possible without any stress, any anxiety. This is great for anyone, mothers, fathers, children. It's for everyone. And then I also have my first poetry event coming up where I'm hosting That's Sincerely the Truth. That's going to be May 20th in Las Vegas as well. All of this is on my Instagram page as well. I do private sound baths as well. I do private mindful conversations. So if it's something that you're not ready to fully talk about but want to get it off your chest, you can definitely connect with me on that. And I also do private dance classes too. So if it's an emotion that you want to work through, we work through it through sound and movement. And it's just a really great way to kind of get out of whether it's a sadness or happy, trying to figure out which emotions to associate with things. Um, and then I will have another affirmation event, and I would love to have it via online. So we're working on that as well. But definitely come out, support. I am selling affirmation stickers too, so you can always inbox me on how to obtain the stickers too. And continue following my page. We have a mental health awareness month where I'm be posting tips and tricks on how to take care of your mental health, fun facts, and then all the just about psychology and how it affects us throughout everything that we do.
So make sure that you connect with her. And then for myself, I am in the process of working on a girls talk. I hear y'all. Those that have teenage girls, I'm working on that so we can connect there with a girl talk workshop as well as it's still in the air, but after we complete it, ladies, let's talk. We start talking about other different things. So we may do a ladies, let's talk in the kitchen, you know, cook some stuff, you know, we're trying to, you know, health as well. So those different things. So stay tuned about that, as well as loading, drum roll, the Healing for Her conference, which is going to be November 3rd and 4th. So put that on your calendars. 2-day event. This is where you splurge on yourself. You get the hotel, you do all of the things. And this year comes with some surprises, VIP day, all of that. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and tell a friend. And we will see you here next Tuesday on Candid Conversations with Shy. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you in the social media streets. Going by our own algorithm, by the way.